Hey everybody, this is Eli Freestone, and you're watching my Week 2 reflection video for cross-platform mobile development, term 1410. This week we're just building our iOS version of the Android application we had last week. So we have a sign up and sign in views, as well as the ability to create and save data to the parse server, display that data, and delete it within the application. So I'm using the same backend as last week, and I've already typed in my credentials for one of my logins from last week. So let's go ahead and get started on that here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and add in a new contact. I am still using a contacts app. I wanted to make sure that I had all my functionality correct and working properly before I went ahead and started to do the to change it over to something like a birthdays or something like that. Something a little bit that has a little bit more room for customization, I think, is the overall plan. But when I started this application, for this week, I was really surprised with how unfamiliar Objective-C was. So it actually took me quite a while to really get going, and I even found myself stumbling on a lot of things that I should have known just kind of automatically, stuff that I've done dozens and dozens of times. It had been quite a long time. I think I figured it was 7 or 8 months since the last time I did anything Objective-C related. So anyways, let's go ahead and save this. I'm using a done button in the toolbar instead of a save button like I did with the Android. It just felt like more of a stock iOS type of thing to do. So we'll go ahead and add that. We have test 1, 2, 3 at the bottom there. All right, and then to delete, I'm doing a slide to the left, which is another stock iOS type of thing to do. We'll go ahead and actually just delete the one we just made. So when you slide to the left, you then reveal the delete button. You just click delete, and it's gone. So there's not a lot of notification to tell the user what's going on with the iOS version, mainly just because there's not really an equivalent to the toast message from Android, and I didn't feel that it was appropriate to be popping up UI alert views every time the user did something that didn't require real attention. I do pop up alert views if there's a failed login or there's missing fields when they're creating a contact or anything like that. But I just didn't feel it was proper, for when they add a new contact successfully, it just reloads and shows it in the view instead, or when they delete it, it just removes it. All right, so let's go ahead and log out, and we'll create a new one. The login and sign up are built-in features from Parse. Although I did skin them, I did actually have a bit of a leg up with setting that up because I'd actually used that before in I believe it was application deployment 1. I used the login as well as skinned it, so I did already have a leg up on that. A lot of my measurements and stuff like that for this are actually based on that, although I've recreated the background to give it a new feel, and then I've also kind of tweaked the layout a bit. So anyways, let's go ahead and sign up. I am going to be updating my Android version to include, let's fix that, to include a separate view for the sign up, as well as to require the email, just because it has a lot more a professional feel to it than the login / sign up mixed view that I have for the Android one. Should be a fairly easy fix, or a fairly easy update, which I'll actually do before I even start looking at changing from my contacts view or contacts app to something else like a birthdays app or whatever. So I do have a title again that just, states that no contacts to display. Please select the plus button to add a contact. So we'll go ahead and add a new one here just to show that that's disappearing as well in the same way that it was for the Android app. All right, so then it adds it in, and then we can slide it on over and delete. There we go. All right, so yeah, I have user authentication. There's data that's linked to the individual users, and both creating and reading, as well as deleting. All the data manipulation is all linked to the different users, so each user has its own set. Here, I can actually even log into my other credentials from last week just to show that they have a different list. All right, there we go. So application UI, I think it follows, the general practices for iOS. It is definitely a little bit different than what would normally be seen, such as the way I did my custom cell, but I wanted that part to kind of carry over from the Android version. Although I think it still needs some tweaking. There's something just a little bit odd about it that I don't like, that I haven't really been able to put my finger on. So yeah, I guess that's about it. This has been Eli Freestone, week 2 for CPM, term 1410. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.